Why is Lizzo great till she gotta be great? This Lizzo situation is insane. This news dropped 2 days ago, and it has been everywhere on the internet, and I've just needed to talk about it. I think it's absolutely crazy, and by the time that I've covered this, now not only has the story dropped, not only has Lizzo responded within the last couple hours, actually, but now we have information about her legal team and stuff. So if you're not aware what's happening, I am going to take you bit by bit, my lovely. So Lizzo is basically being sued by ex-workers. So former Lizzo dancers were weight shamed and pressured while at a strip club, a new lawsuit says. 3 former dancers have filed a suit against Lizzo, accusing the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. So for 2 days, people really haven't had any information on Lizzo's response or anything like this. Now we do. So Lizzo responded a couple hours ago. Not Deaf Noodles at the top reply. Lizzo responded, I think, 7 hours ago or something. His ass is not reading. I think like 7 hours ago. And now we have information that Lizzo is now being represented by Hollywood lawyer Marty Singer for the harassment and toxic workplace lawsuit. So Singer's clientele ranges from a variety of stars, including Bill Cosby, Johnny Depp, Charlie Sheen, Chris Brown, Brett Ratner, and currently Jonah Hill. So this is who Lizzo is being represented by. Her lawyer, Marty Singer. These are his clientele. Now, hot on the heels of the Andrew Brettler, Colleen Ballinger thing, I think it tells you a lot about whether people are guilty or not, allegedly, based on who they take on to represent them. And I mean, having the likes of Bill Cosby's lawyer, I don't know, Jonah Hill currently, Johnny Depp, Charlie Sheen, Chris Brown, Brett Ratner, oof. So anyway, let's get to this interview thing that has detailed everything from NBC. I thought it was really good. I read it last night and it let me know everything. And then we will respond to what Lizzo's response has been. So again, that's what the article is. And we're going to get to it. So, Los Angeles, 3 of Lizzo's former dancers have accused the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment in a lawsuit filed on Tuesday. So, this is very, very, very new. They also allege that she pressured one of them into touching a nude performer at an Amsterdam club and subjected the group to an excruciating audition after leveling false accusations that they were drinking on the job. So, basically, that Lizzo just sounds like the absolute worst boss ever. The dancers accused Lizzo, a performer known for embracing body positivity and celebrating her physique, of calling attention to one dancer's weight gain and later berating, then firing that dancer after she recorded a meeting because of her health condition. So basically, the most body-friendly person literally in the entertainment industry right now, Lizzo, is being accused of basically fat-shaming people and firing them for, allegedly, the reason of them gaining weight, which is just so crazy because I don't listen to Lizzo's music. I've said this before, but I find that kind of empowering music, it's not for me. I like sad music. I love putting on Lana Del Rey. I like music that makes me feel sad. I don't listen to music that makes me feel happy. Sorry, someone had to say it. I like neutral music and I like music that makes me feel sad. However, I have thought that Lizzo's music serves a good purpose, empowering people, and I think that has always been something good. It's not necessarily my take, nor do I think it's music made for me. I think that it's really, really, really empowering music that can be, really, really, really great. For me, I just like music that makes me sad. That's for me. But that's my perception of Lizzo. My perception of Lizzo is, empowering, and the fact that allegedly behind the scenes she's the complete opposite of that is terrifying. Now, one thing I also want to say as well is I hope the people who are covering this or giving their opinions of this are being careful with their wording, because the amount of people that have been very outwardly fat phobic online because of these allegations against Lizzo is crazy to me. And I'm like, a lot of people were waiting, jumping at the bit to be fat phobic, whether it's towards Lizzo or whether it's towards the dancers or whether they're making general statements. This is not an excuse to be fat phobic or anything like that. I hope people are aware of that as well. And also, if people are saying these things, most likely Lizzo isn't going to see these, but maybe some of your friends are going to see it that feel a certain way about themselves and may identify with things that you are saying within themselves. And that is incredibly damaging. And I just think that the fact that people have been almost like, finally, they're able to like weight shame Lizzo and it be the public opinion of Lizzo bad is so crazy to me. I think they're two very separate issues. Lizzo is being called out for being allegedly fat phobic. That doesn't mean that you can then spew fat phobia all over the internet. It makes me so pissed off. And that's been something I've been seeing and I'm like, ugh. Anyways. The suit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court and provided to NBC News by the plaintiff's law firm also accuses the captain of Lizzo's dance team of, that's a big word. That's a huge word. Wow. I'm stumped, actually. My brain can't even begin to process how that may sound.
Proselytizing.
I would have never got that. Proselytizing? That's a crazy big word. What does that mean? The action of attempting someone to convert something. Oh. So, proselytizing, learning, obviously, to other performers and deriding those who have had a premarital sex with sharing lewd sexual fantasies, simulating oral sex, and publicly discussing the virginity of one of the plaintiffs. This is just very weird, and it's crazy to me just how, like, unprofessional these huge celebrities are and how unprofessional at their core many, many, many businesses are. Like, this is so not normal. This is so not normal. And I was seeing people online be like, oh, well, if you know, they're all friends, like these are conversations you have with friends. And I'm like, okay, but this is a work environment. You know what I mean? If you're spending so much time with people because you're in a work contract, that doesn't necessarily mean that the reason you're hanging out with each other so much is because you're best friends. It means you're the only people around each other for months on end, isolated from your family and friends. Of course, they're going to become close, but that doesn't mean that you break down the boundaries that maybe people have with their friends. Especially the people who are in the top of the work environment as well, being accused of this is deranged. The suit does not say if Lizzo knew about the allegations linked to the dance captain, Shirlene Quigley, but the plaintiffs believe that the singer was aware of their complaints about her, according to their Laurel Yanni lawyer, Ron. The suit names Lizzo, whose real name is Melissa. I did not know that her name was not Lizzo. That was news to me. Melissa Vivian Jefferson, her production company, and Quigley as defendants. So basically, Quigley is the dance captain. So that's dance captain. So we're in agreement. In addition to accusations of a hostile work environment and sexual harassment, the suit brings claims for religious and racial harassment, false imprisonment, interference with prospective economic advantage, and other allegations. We're going to get to Lizzo's statement. Don't worry. We're just figuring out what's going on right now. So hold your horses, chat. Because the things that we just listed off, false imprisonment? What does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Interference with prospective what do these things mean? So here's a quote. The stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seems to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly, while privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not only illegal but absolutely demoralizing. So this was said in a statement from the people who are suing's lawyer, I'm pretty sure, right? I think so, yeah. It does. Okay, so that's him. All right, the suit accuses Lizzo of calling attention to the dancer's weight after an appearance at South by Southwest Music Festival. The singer and her choreographer later told the dancer, Ariana Davis, that she was deemed less committed to her role, a comment the suit describes as a thinly veiled concern about Davis's weight. So, the person who is the most, to her audience, body-friendly person apparently berating people for their weight or weight gain, which I would give anyone criticism for in general, but specifically when your entire brand is loving buddies. It's crazy. Representatives for Lizzo did not immediately respond to requests for comment. There you go. There's your moment. I know Lizzo did respond now, which we're going to get to, but That's always a bad sign. It's a bad sign when news publications are reaching out and we're not hearing anything, specifically when we know that news publications normally start working on things ages before they're posted. Quigley did not respond to a comment either, who's the dance captain. Efforts to reach Lizzo's production company, Big Girl Big Touring, which is an ironic name against these accusations, Big Girl Big Touring. Big Touring hates big girls, apparently, were unsuccessful. Lizzo addressed the SUED allegations in a statement Thursday morning, saying she feels hurt and called the claims false, unbelievable, and outrageous. So we're going to get to the full thing in a second. Davis and another former dancer, Crystal Williams, began performing with Lizzo after competing on her Amazon reality show, Watch Out for the Big Girls. That's apparently Lizzo's attitude. Watch out for the big girls! Because allegedly she hates them. Allegedly. In 2021, according to the SUED, the dancers were later fired. The third, Noelle Rodriguez, was hired the same year after performing in the video Rumors, the SUED says. She later resigned that year. Okay. So, Amsterdam club accusations. So this is one of the main things, okay? This is one of the main things. The trip to Amsterdam, which, by the way, anyone in here watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Let me hear you chat. Anyone? Anyone watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Okay, there's a couple people. There's enough for me to make this reference. Do you remember the Amsterdam trip in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I just think that Amsterdam is cursed. I actually want to go to Amsterdam. I really, really, really do. I've never been. Would love to go. I'm just making a joke. Anyone remember the Amsterdam dinner in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I do want to go to Amsterdam really badly. I was actually going to go this week, but then we went to Paris instead. Real Housewives. Okay. So this Amsterdam bit is intense. So prepare yourself. Because I'm going to just give a warning before we really, really, really get into things, because I feel that I had to, because I had no real warning before I went into this. And just whenever you start thinking about this as like a workplace and stuff, it really, 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 even just on a human level. The trip to Amsterdam strip club happened after a performance in the city earlier this year. The suit states that Lizzo's after-parties were routine but non-mandatory, but alleges that those who attended were favored by the singer and also had greater job security. Now, this makes sense to me. People were saying, oh, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you be favored if you went to after-parties with Lizzo? I'm like, what? What? Of course that makes sense. Of course you're going to be favored by your boss if you're going to their after parties with them, because then you're hanging out with them on like a more personal level and they look at it as you making like an effort. I couldn't believe that people were like, there's no way Lizzo was favoring dancers who were going out partying with her. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense for you to say that. Like, of course it makes sense for Lizzo to love the ones more who are spending extracurricular time with her. You know what I mean? Oh my god, congratulations on being pregnant. Congratulations. So they went to Amsterdam parties. People who went would be favored by Lizzo. But the thing that got me is not that they would just be favored, but the fact that they had greater job security is crazy to me. But then if she's befriending them, then whatever. At the club, Lizzo allegedly began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, which... Stop. Like, let's stop after that sentence. That is already bad. Touching the nude performers. She was getting her cast members to touch nude performers. Stop. And then we go on. Catching dildos launched from the performers' vaginas and eating bananas that were protruding from the performers' vaginas. The SUED says... This is their boss, by the way. Like, this is their boss. Lizzo then turned her attention to Miss Davis and began pressuring Miss Davis to touch the breasts of one of the nude women's. What boss does this? So this is Miss Davis right here. Who does this? Davis declined, according to the SUED, and Lizzo allegedly led a chant getting her to do it. After Davis declined 3 more times, the chant then grew louder and more, louder and louder and louder to get her to do it. demanding a visibly uncomfortable Miss Davis to engage with the performer, all because allegedly her boss started this and was forcing her to do it. When Davis eventually, did it and briefly touched the performer, the group burst into laughter, the SUED says. And by the way, there are many people who are obviously there for this. Like, this isn't just one person against Lizzo. Like, there are many, many, many of the dancers that are at this event. You know what I mean? This after party. And also, for Lizzo to be acting like this at a public club where the public can also be there is so crazy. And there's no level of someone being drunk, or if we're in Amsterdam, high, that would ever excuse that. If you know that you're going to act like that, you're their boss, and don't go out and drink or get high. You can go out, but don't get drunk and get high. If you're going to act like that, you're their boss. Afterward, Lizzo allegedly pressed a member of her security staff to get on stage and began yelling, "Take it off," to the security staff. Like, what? Plaintiffs were, shocked at how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her, especially in the presence of many people who she employed, the SUED says. A week later, after a show in Paris, just got back from Paris, Lizzo invited her dancers to a club so they would be able to learn something or be inspired by the performance, the SUED says. What Lizzo failed to mention when inviting the dancers to this performance was that it was a nude cabaret bar, which, like, here's the thing, like, there are so many, clubs and bars in Paris that are nude. I think there are ones around the world. For your boss to take you to them is inappropriate. And then for your boss to take you to them without telling you what it is, in saying that you need to learn something from it, is even fucking weirder. I just don't, I don't get it at all. Like, I really, really, really don't. Like, what do you mean to learn something from this? You're their fucking boss. The SUED described the performance as artful, but the plaintiffs were shocked that Lizzo would conceal the nature of wouldn't, from them, basically robbing their, choice to participate or not. So that is the Amsterdam trip, which is one of the big things of this topic. And then we go on to harassment claims. So here we have Noelle. So the racial harassment claim is linked to what the SUED describes as comments charged with racial and fat-phobic things that were made by touring companies and their employees. By the way, if you're reading this along with me and you see that I swap out a smart word for an easier one, it's because I don't want to make a fool of myself by not knowing how to pronounce it, so I just fill the gaps with an easy word that I know. I don't want to hear it down below. Don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the bullying down below. In one instance, the former dancer asked to be compensated for their downtime at a rate of 50% of their weekly pay, according to the SUED. An accountant allegedly responded to the request by offering them 25% and scolding them for being unacceptable and disrespectful. Only the dance cast compromised, of full-figured women of color were ever spoken to in this manner, the SUED says. So basically implying that there was a racial reason that they were being treated. The religious harassment allegation is, why is there so much? Like, this is nothing against the people who are speaking up. Don't get me twisted there. But why is there so much? Like, you have 3 people on the record against you right now. It is for not even just one topic, many topics. Jesus Christ. How long has this been going on for, someone said? These things were coming from her shows from this year, I think. Because it said, Amsterdam earlier this year. The religious harassment allegation is connected to Quigley, so that's the dance captain, who also worked as a judge on reality show that Lizzo did. According to the SUED, she preached her Christian beliefs and took every opportunity to basically... it's that fucking word again. When you're coming to me, you're not coming for cleverness.
Proselytize.
Any opportunity to proselytize. Got there after 3 goes. 4, actually. So basically what it's accusing her of is trying to force her religious beliefs on people and try to change theirs. That's what this smart word section is summed up to. I got there in the end. Don't worry. After discovering that Davis was a virgin, Quigley, the dance captain, discussed the subject in interviews and also posted about it on social media, the SUED says. And when cast members asked her to stop pressuring Rodriguez, whom Quigley regarded as a non-believer, according to the SUED, about her faith, Quigley responded, "No job and no one will stop me from talking about the Lord." Which is just so weird and just like... Someone said, as a Christian, I hate when people force their religion. And can I say something as well? As someone who's not religious in any way, I think there are so many people in this world, and there are a lot of people here Christian, who will be like, I hate when people force their religion down people's throats. And I think it's literally just them being racist. Because Christian white people have no problem forcing their religion down your throat, but then literally someone of a different ethnicity can exist. And they'll be like, I hate when people force their religion down their throat. And the other person hasn't even spoken. Yet white Christian people have no problem doing it on the daily. And it bothers me so much. It bothers me so much. So much. It's literally just a way for a ton of white people to be racist. Like, to be racist. Dancers dismissed. So 2 dancers were fired in April and May. So for people asking when things happened, so they were fired in April and May. And according to the SUED, Williams lost her job April 26th, days after she spoke up at a meeting in which she challenged an assertion from Lizzo that the dancers were drinking before performances. The day before, Lizzo had told the group that they would have to audition again, a move that prompted what the SUED described as an excruciating 12-hour rehearsal. At a bare minimum, Lizzo just seems like an awful boss. You know what I mean? At a bare minimum, she seems like an awful, abusive boss. 12-hour rehearsals just because you just want to re-audition everyone whenever they've like already worked on tour with you and stuff. Like, at a bare minimum, if Lizzo is not guilty of anything, what she's guilty of is being a nasty boss that, like, no one will want to work with. I have cat hairs all in my nose. Well, if Lizzo was dissatisfied with their performances, the SUED alleges that the dancers would be fired on the spot and sent home. During the rehearsal, Davis was so fearful that she would lose her job if she went to the bathroom. So basically, the dancers are even scared to go to the bathroom during this 12-hour non-stop that they're so scared to go to the bathroom that she soiled her pants. She was given a see-through outfit with no undergarments to finish the performance, the SUED says. And also, I don't know why people aren't acknowledging the fact that, like, how sexual Lizzo's work environment is. From the outfits the dancers have to wear when they're, like, not on stage to them being forced to go to nude cabaret bars and stuff, like... It is, like, weirdly over-sexual. You know what I mean? And, like, it, like, on stage, I get it. Performance and stuff. I even get it with, like, you know, possibly a rehearsal. But most rehearsals, like, they're not this. And, like, it just seems so weirdly sexual. When Lizzo raised the issue, again, the following day... Williams responded, saying the dancers didn't drink. The SUED says. The singer then allegedly offered what the SUED describes as a mocking reply. Well, if you're not, then good for y'all. 5 days later, on April 26th, Lizzo's tour manager fired Williams in a hotel lobby, the SUED says, which I can only assume was on tour if it's a hotel lobby, so you're firing this dancer allegedly on tour? The manager attributed the termination to budget cuts. Oh my god, how convenient. Said the SUED, which noted that no one else was fired. Rodriguez complained to the management about, the main manager at management, about the decision to publicly fire Williams. A move that Lizzo repeatedly raised with the dancers during an April 27 meeting, during which she told the group that she had eyes and ears everywhere, according to the SUED. She just sounds like a fucking nightmare. Davis recorded the April 27th meeting because she suffered from an eye condition that sometimes left her disoriented in a stressful situation, the SUED says. Days later, Lizzo held an emergency meeting and had security employees confiscate the dancers' phones. What the fuck? Lizzo became furious, hurling, all these things at the group and stated that she was going to go around one by one in the room, person by person, until someone told Lizzo who made the recording. Davis acknowledged the recording during the meeting saying that she wanted to have a copy of Lizzo's performance notes, as it says. When Davis said she didn't mean any harm and that she would delete the video, Lizzo allegedly responded, "There is nothing you can say to make me believe you." Miss Quigley and Lizzo then took turns berating Miss Davis, so the dance captain and Lizzo, the SUED says. After cascading Miss Davis, Lizzo then fired Miss Davis on the spot. Before Lizzo left the meeting, Rodriguez told her that she felt disrespected and would resign, the SUED says. Lizzo responded by cracking her knuckles, balling her fists, and then using a thing that she told Rodriguez that she was lucky, the SUED states. As Rodriguez left, the SUED says Lizzo raised both her middle fingers and yelled a slur. The SUED alleges false imprisonment against Lizzo's production company because a member of her security details allegedly forcing Davis to remain in the room after the meeting ended so he could search her phone. So that was basically that they were locking her in rooms. The suit does not specify a dollar amount for damages that cover emotional distress, including unpaid wages, loss of earnings, and attorney fees. In the meantime, Lizzo continues to inspire fans. In a recent clip circulating on social media, the singer can be seen telling a young woman attending a concert how beautiful and special she is, and how she could be the greatest dancer in the entire world. Speaking to the fan who said she had been bullied online, Lizzo said, "The words that we say have a long-lasting impact on people." And I think that that is such an impactful ending to this article that Diana from NBC wrote. Isn't that a crazy line to end it on? That Lizzo told a fan, the words that we say have a long-lasting impact on people. I think that's crazy. I think that is absolutely, absolutely crazy. It is all an act. We're going to get to Lizzo's response tonight, but I just think that that is so fucking deranged, dude. Like, that is so fucking deranged. And it's always the, like, nice people, right? It's always the nice people that are the fucking bitchiest bastards that you've ever met. That you've ever met. Like, it's almost the ones that are outwardly so pleasant because they're so insecure about the fact that they're fucking awful people. The nice people, yeah. Dude, fuck Lizzo. Fuck Lizzo.